Hey, 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 hey. Happy new day. Gonna set the space with lighting one of my favorite incense. It's English lavender. Very specifically English lavender, don't know why. So, what's up? I'm very excited to finally be here working on this.
I'm just going for it. I'm not doing anything perfect or super high and super tech, whatever. Just using what I got with what I know and learning. Always open to learning. Cheers. So, elephant in the room. This is my room.
We're gonna start over. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm not ready. I can't. I'm not ready. I'm not fucking ready. Not ready. I'm not ready. I'm just gonna wing it. I just gotta wing it. I just gotta go for it. I don't need a fucking proper plan. And it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Yeah. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Yeah. I'm gonna hit the fucking bottom first. Hello. Testing. Hi, everybody. Lucy for real. Kiara, Lucille, Lulu, Lucy Lou. You know, different friends have different names. But, this is it. Episode 1. Elephant in the room. Wow. Yeah, so I'm not prepared at all, even though I've prepared my whole life for this pretty much. I'm nervous. So I am excited to start this show for myself and for everybody I know. First of all, I've wanted to do some kind of talk show for a long time because just hanging out with my ladies and my homies randomly throughout my life, we would just have like banging ass conversations, like life-changing shit people need to hear. And I always said, man, people need to hear this. And so here we are. This is the beginning of people need to hear this. And this first episode is just me. I do have guests that I want to have on. people that are not known to the world or whatever per se, but that's not really my focus. I don't care to be popular or talk to the popular people, but there are some very well-known people who I find very interesting I would love to talk to. We'll get into that list later, but for now, my intentions with this is to talk about the elephant in the room. All of the elephants. I feel like there are multiple squeezed into one room. I feel like there's so many things that are just going on, and there's a lot of big issue things happening in the world. Like, we are on the verge of possible world war, and that's fucking scary. Just that, first of all. But in addition to that, there's things inside our families and inside our schools and inside our hospitals and doctors' offices and churches and government programs and places, and just the regular everyday things that we have to face. All of us individually, but collectively. And there's issues. There's things that are outdated. There are things that are straight up not right. And this is my attempt to talk about those things so we can maybe come together and find some new solutions to do something about these things. I just have to gather myself because I'm starting to get emotional because I am nervous, first of all, but secondly, I'm just very passionate about all of the things I want to share and get into on this show and in this community. I really hope to create a community of people together, a tribe, a village, intergalactic village. So, a lot of people who will see this won't know me, and some people who will see it do know me or know parts of me, or have experienced a version of me that took to get here. Because I will say proudly that I am not the same woman that I was before, or the same girl that I was before. And I want to say that very loud and proud, because I used to very much pride myself on being that same bitch, that real ass bitch that don't change, because of where I came from. That's definitely something that's valued, and I valued that. But then at one point I realized I'm growing. And if I'm growing, how can I be that same bitch anymore? I can't stay the same and evolve. Those two things cannot coexist. So what am I really doing here? And then I let go of, I released that notion, that belief. Stardust blessings to myself. So I have evolved. My birth name is Kiara. I chose the name Lucille to be added onto that because I love my name, Kiara, but I love Lucille also. It stemmed from my love of I Love Lucy, my favorite TV show. And I don't know, I just love vintage things, and that name just really resonates with me. For the longest I wanted to change my name, but as I grew more and more, I realized I love my name Kiara, but I also love Lucille, so I have to have both. I feel like I'm in a place of being where it's like not or, but and. I don't need to have one or the other. I can have both. So Kiara Lucille. And I prefer to go by Lucy. Mostly because people don't usually say Kiara, right? And it bugs the fucking shit out of me. Even my own family. If you can call them that. So a little bit about me. Anyways. I knew not having like an actual plan was gonna go weird, but then I just want to be authentic as fuck. So this is me being authentic as fuck. And I actually have a little bit of eyeliner on. I usually have no makeup on at all. I don't plan to put any filters on this. The camera looks a little grainy. It's my regular computer camera. I'm not doing anything fucking special. I don't want to do anything fucking special except for talk. Talk about real ass shit. And I guess that is kind of special because not enough people do it anymore. I don't know, but I've been through a lot, and the most important thing for me to share first is for you to know that I don't like to speak on things that I didn't experience myself, or share stories of people who I know experienced them. And this is how I learned through the process, and I love to make that clear, like this is from something I saw or someone I talked to, because I think that we can only really know the things that we know, that we experienced. And I think to be truthful all the time, that matters to me, to make that distinction. So firstly. Secondly, I have been through a lot, and just when I started to embrace the new beginnings and the beautiful blessings and things I had to have to be so thankful and joyous to be experiencing and have in my life, I am given more tragedy. And that is probably the hardest part, when I want to spread love and joy, because that is what matters to me. I can't do that without also sharing my pain. And I'm learning to just embrace that, like the Addams family. My pain and my grief will forever be a part of me. I just needed to take a moment of silence. Like I said, I'm going to be raw and I'm going to be me. So if you can't handle it, please please feel free to leave. But if you stick around, I promise there will be great things for you to experience and learn and hopefully share with me. But I have a whirlwind of emotions. I'm very thankful and happy and joyous. I'm also very sad and angry. First of all, I am a mother of 2 beautiful, amazing little ladies, 4 and 14 years old, turning 5 and 15 this year. When I say that out loud, I'm reminded how old I am, so how young I am. So it's always interesting because I don't think about my age very much. But being a mother is literally the most important thing to me. I didn't have a relationship with my mother. And there's a whole lot of stories there. And I will dig into all of them. But for now, I will say my mother didn't want to be a mother. And I knew that. And I felt that. I was very intuitive, and it was very clear. I had a great grandmother who I felt so much love from. She really saved me in a lot of ways. She showed me different things in life. She was my light in the darkness. And she helped me just have an option. Know that I have an option. We all have options, right? But a lot of kids that come from where I come from don't know that they have options. And they just go along the same cycles and the same paths that their family members or whoever around them gave them. And it's very important for me to share that, because we need to all know that we have an option. I decide. One of my tattoos, I might as well show you now. This one is a big one about who I am. And it means I decide, I dream. Once you decide and you see it in your mind, in your dreams, it becomes reality. So I decide what I want my life to be like, no matter what circumstances are around me, no matter what cards I was dealt. I'm deciding how I'm gonna play them motherfuckers. So here I am. Here I am deciding how I want to play my motherfucking cards. My hand. Clearly I'm not great at that. I totally have to do some nighttime episodes because I have these dope ass lights you can't even see because it's too bright outside, which I'm not complaining. I love the sunshine. Sunshine is literally my fave. That's why I'm here in Colorado. And so Lucy Lou, K Lou, Kiara Lucille, that's me, Lucy for real. New School CEO, Elephant in the Room podcast creator, host, woman. I am woman. Female born. No alterations or anything like that. All natural, minus the eyeliner. No makeup. I need some chapstick. Might get some of that in a minute. That's me. Look, I didn't even fix my fucking fingernails. I was going to, but fuck it. Maybe I'll do it while we're talking. No, seriously. Elephant in the room. We are gonna dive into all of the things to share about what's important to me and the things I want to talk about. I'm gonna just say more about my life, like the fact that I grew up in a violent home, dysfunctional, abuse, drug abuse, physical violence, verbal abuse, mental abuse. Also sexual abuse. When I was 6 was the first time. I have one younger brother, one older brother. Didn't grow up with my older brother except for when I was around. We had different moms, so we didn't grow up together, but still my brother nonetheless. No, almost stopped recording. So I don't have any biological sisters, but I have several sisters now that I claim as my soul sisters. And really, I love every living being and creature like family. So, all my brothers and sisters. Interesting topics people usually ask. Yes, I do believe in God. Yes, I grew up in a Christian environment most of the time, even when I was in foster care, because I was in foster care for a while also. I am not religious, and I do not consider myself a Christian any longer. I did at one point. I was saved and baptized. So I did that when I was too young to really know what I wanted. Whole nother story. Lots of stories. Have some pretty crazy people in my life, my family, my blood family, and I'm sure none of them want me to get into their stories, but when the time comes, I will be holding nothing back. I had a best friend whom I lived with and is now serving life in prison for murder. And I haven't spoke to her ever since, which fucks me up, but also so many fucked up things happened, and like she literally risked me losing my child doing the stupid ass shit she was doing, and that fucking freaked me out because of where I come from. And as I said before, being a mother is everything. Being a mother is everything. Everything to me. Anyways, moved to Colorado from Michigan. Oh, I was born in Michigan, but my mother moved us back and forth, Michigan and Arizona, while I was growing up. So I moved back and forth quite a bit, and then ended up in foster care in Arizona. My great grandmother in Michigan got us out of foster care, so we moved back to Michigan again, and that's where I finished high school and everything. I love both places but hated both at the same time. So Colorado naturally became the place I wanted to be. It's the best of both worlds. And that's where I've been since 2019. And I had my youngest daughter here, which was a very scary situation. I had a placental abruption. Nobody knows why. And she was born 6 weeks early, 4 pounds, 4 ounces, my little tiny peanut. But she's doing lovely. She's smarter than a lot of other 4-year-olds that I know. And that's no offense to any other moms, just got good genes, I guess. And a good mama teaching her. And my oldest is my little mini for sure. My little lady. Well, I had 2 other babies that are in stars with Mama Moon. I had a miscarriage in 2022. And I became pregnant again in 2023 with a boy who had multiple rare birth defects. I'm not even going to act like I can pronounce them because I can't, no matter how many times I've tried and heard them pronounced. So those details I can leave in the comment or the description or whatever. But very rare, like 1 in 100 million chance for him to have all of these birth defects at the same time. And I had to give birth to him on February 2nd without a heartbeat. My baby boy was 7 months. And this is definitely one of the elephant in the room topics I want to dig into. I've shared this with a lot of women, and I heard Me Too way more than I thought I would. So I think this is a really big topic that is not being discussed because it is so painful. Parents shouldn't have to lose a child in any kind of way. So grief and healing and death, those are definitely topics we will dig into. We have lost so many people. And I didn't promise myself I wasn't going to cry, but I also didn't want to. I don't want to hold back emotions, but I also don't want to get distracted. So part of knowing who I am is knowing the books I read. Sacred Woman is one of the books I keep very close. As you can see, it's kind of worn and haggard. I think that one is important because it is about the woman in our womb health and our sacredness. And this is a very fucking touchy topic for me because what is a woman? The $1 million question. What is a woman? I don't know if you've seen that documentary or not. I definitely challenge you to watch it if you haven't, and watch it again if you have. Fuck it. That was a very eye-opening documentary for me. I already had issues with our rights for women, our rights as women. For so many reasons. I'm a rebellious spirit. So everything about being a woman today is rebellious in the spirit of living in a man's world. And it's important to me to not be labeled as a feminist, first of all. I do not like labels. Do not label me. But I need to it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Men should not be competing in women's sports. Why the fuck is it called women's sports anymore? Like, the fact that just anybody can just decide they want to be a woman is a fucking problem. It's a problem. And I think it literally is a testament to how much respect we do not get as women. Like, it's a slap in the face and then slap and spit in the face. Like, the most disrespectful shit you could do. I don't get it. How did we get here? It's like, that's a topic. And here, I want to be very clear to say I do have gay friends, both male and female. I love them. I respect them. I have no problem with somebody embracing who they feel that they are inside. I support that 100%. I'm aware that we have actual biological differences. I'm aware that there has been actual mutations in our DNA over the last several years. I'm aware that there are real side effects to all the hormones being pumped into everything. And I'm aware that regular individuals go through a time in their life as they're growing and changing where they might not like who they are or feel comfortable in their body or know who they are or who they want to be. But I think we could support that in a different way than offering life-changing medical operations to children who are not yet old enough to make those decisions. That bothers me. Being a child who was never advocated for and was in so many fucked up situations because there wasn't an adult to stand up for me, I have to be that adult now. And I don't even want to be called an adult because it's so fucking whack. But I was born in 92. And lots of people call me old. Which is funny to me. But whatever. I'm going to be somebody who advocates for children and women and people who are oppressed. I do not support anything that segregates people in any kind of way. My heart was always torn about Black Lives Matter, not because Black lives don't matter, just because the violent energy that came from that with a lot of groups of people towards people who are not Black. And I can't support that. Which is more topics that I have to get into. Also, certain leaders who promote Black relationships make it sound like interracial relationships are not okay. And where I love to support Black love, I can't not support interracial love because I'm an interracial baby. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean that all these mixed babies are little devils or something? Little demon creatures because they were born out of something that's not right? I don't know. What are we really saying here? What are we really saying? I don't like it. And I think we have to figure out how to support our differences and our similarities, and recognizing that we actually all have a common fucking enemy right now. Enemy? I live in an anemone. Keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. You know what the fuck I'm saying. So those are some hot topics I have strong opinions about. Our doctors. You are your first doctor. You. Because only you know how you actually feel. The doctor's office and these doctors who pay to go to school to get trained to do all this stuff, they work for us. They work for us, and we need to treat them as such. Respect them and their knowledge, yes, but do not let them run you and tell you what to do with you. You need to figure out a plan for yourself. Utilize their knowledge, their equipment, their facilities to your advantage by bringing them the information you have. Learning things like through Ayurveda or other similar cultures' way of living, which is amazing to me. Here in the United States, we have no culture. And I think that that's what we really need to come together to build, is a culture that is accumulation of what we all feel is right, and create a new for us here that supports everybody that's here. Shit just don't fucking make sense, okay? It just doesn't make sense. There's so much that's like backwards. I joke around and say this is the backwards world, but it's fucking real. This is the fucking backwards world. Shit is not right. Things are not set up for our betterment or our growth or to support us in love and the way that we need to be nurtured. We are like, look all around you. No matter who you are, what you look like, what your last name is, where you came from, where you at right now, we all can look around and see that there is something not right everywhere. Whether it's at your school or your child's school or your niece and nephews or your grandchildren's school, whoever, whether it is the doctor's office or the churches or the fucking DMV when you gotta go, like wherever it is, shit ain't right. Shit ain't right, and shit ain't adding up. And we are literally sending billions and billions of dollars to other countries and other people when we are hurting and can't even help ourselves right here. Who is really running this shit and making these motherfucking decisions? Did y'all know our government is supposed to work for us? They are supposed to be public servants. This is not supposed to be a job that they get paid more than the average fucking person who works their ass off for their community. They're not supposed to be able to be sitting in these positions for their whole entire fucking lives. Our generations change. Why the fuck don't we change these motherfucking people in office? They keep us focused on the president and the vice president and act like that's the difference, and that's not the difference. The difference is all them other motherfuckers that don't get voted or booted out of their seats. What are we doing about them? And I have to admit, I don't fuck with politics. I don't like that shit because it's the most shadiest shit I ever encountered in my life. And I don't like the shady. So it's always been hard for me to pay attention to all of the legalities and details, but it is something that I'm learning more about, and thankful that my partner is more into that than I am, because then he can bring me the information I need when I need it. And that's another way I like to support our differences, because I don't have the emotional bandwidth to try to decipher through all the shit you gotta read and all the different places you gotta pay attention where you getting your information from, who posted that information, who the fuck they work for, what ties do they have, where are their investments, because how they're making their money very likely influences the shit that they say is true on national television or the radio or whatever. And it's just disgusting. So I prefer to tune most of it out. 99.9% of it I tune out. But shit is getting fucking scary. Shit is getting wild. So now we're at a point where I have to pay more attention. And I will be talking about more of these things as well, because we have to pay attention. I have to get my people in the hood who also feel like me, don't give a fuck about voting, don't give a fuck about what is going on out there, because we always feel very detached from that. Well, I need to find a way to help everybody feel attached to that so we can make a fucking difference, because it's time. It's time. I cannot change the world on my own, but we can together. And that is my intention with allowing my voice to be heard and sharing my thoughts with you all and talking about these hot topics and shit. And I embrace talking to people who disagree with me, because I love to hear other people's perspectives. I almost always learn something new about the things I believe myself when I talk to somebody who believes something different. And I think that that's important, to allow healthy debates in safe spaces more, so we can begin to create more solutions to the problems that we have and the problems that we're faced with right now. And I feel like I have always enjoyed talking to people about all the different fucked up shit I've been through in my life. But when I started to think about doing this and talking more publicly about things and just putting it out there, it kind of scared the fuck out of me. And I'm not quite sure why. The internet is harsh. I do know that. But I've never really gave a fuck about what people have to say about me. But then is that true? No, really. My goal is to bring freedom to all of our people. And that doesn't mean that you gotta be a certain color or race or ethnicity or whatever. That just means our people. Our people that ain't sitting up at the top. They don't need no help. I want to help the people who need help. I want to bring music and art and money, financial freedom, wealth, health to all of the families, all of the people. Wealth and wellness are my main focuses. I intend to always talk about the latest financial information that I have access to. Currently, I have opportunities for all different types of people with financial advice. And that could be as simple as helping you with getting a budget together and just writing down financial goals, to as big as helping you with getting $100,000 accounts for trading or getting financing and funding for your businesses, setting up your businesses, LLCs, logos, helping people with getting business credit and different things that I know there, and repairing your personal credit, building personal credit, building business credit, how you can start your business with a credit history of 2 to 3 years right off the bat. Different keys to success that I have access to, that I want to give access to my people. As far as the wellness goes, I like the term wealth and wellness because I feel like that is what I want to share in every part of life. Wealth and wellness, mental, emotional, physical, financial. You need to have wealth of this, and it needs to be well. And so for mind, body, spirit, soul, pocket, all of those things, I will be sharing everything I got. As you see, Sacred Woman and this book that's like everything you need to know about Ayurveda. Those are 2 books I keep very close to me. I also love crystals, and I am always learning about those and where to find them and different properties for them and different uses. I like to create jewelry. This is something I put together that I am not actually wearing, which is weird, but it's one of my bracelets that's a wraparound. Lots of people have asked me for this, but it's a one of one I made just for myself. I do make jewelry for other people too, though. Just very intentional, individualized pieces. So it's not anything I do widespread, but it is a passion of mine. I love to create things because it is a way for me to express my energy and myself and share that with other people. And it's an outlet for me for sure. What else? I do love tarot also, and oracle cards. I love cards, and that's something I've always loved and felt close to. It's not something I want to offer on a large scale right now. That's also another very individualized spiritual thing that I hold dear to me. So I don't like to share that space with just anybody. I like to learn about different herbs and their properties and how your body can benefit by them. So alchemy is also a very important thing to me. I love learning about the way your body moves and the way the body is made up, what the body is made of, and how it moves and functions, so that way I can learn yoga more When I was introduced to yoga, my first instructor had actually been hit by a semi twice in his life. Insane. And was told he wasn't going to be able to walk on his own without support and things. And here he was teaching a yoga class. He said, not without pain medicine, but with yoga, he got there. And that really stuck with me, obviously, because that was literally years ago, 10 years ago, maybe more. And it's how I feel. It set the stage, I guess, for how I was going to look at yoga forever and learn about things, because this man healed his body. He healed himself and gave himself an ability to function again in a way that he was told he couldn't. And that was something that stuck with me too, because I love to show people wrong, to prove people wrong when they tell me I can't do things. I'm like, oh, really? But to a fault. Because I just had this conversation recently with my lover about how there's even times when people are like too believing in me, like, oh, you can do it. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. Because I rather prove somebody wrong when they say that I can't do it. But when they say I can, I'm like, yeah, no, I'd rather do something else. Stupid. Not stupid. Growing, healing, learning. So, I hate cold coffee. Unless it's iced coffee. Well, this is what I get for smoking when I haven't been smoking. But I was nervous, so I hit the bong. So, expectations. Please don't have any. Expectations lead to disappointments, and so I'd rather not disappoint anybody. I'd rather not be disappointed, so I have no expectations for myself for this other than being honest at all times. Bottom line. Not sacrificing truth for any motherfucking thing, period. That is so fucking important to me. I cannot stress it enough. In this world where it is easy to lie and manipulate and fucking do dirty shit, I refuse to compromise truth, period. So, ain't nobody ever gonna be able to buy me out. I don't give a fuck what kind of check they got. The money don't mean shit to me. I come from a place where that don't mean shit. Money don't move me. So I will always speak facts. And if anybody tries to get me to not talk about a topic or remove some shit, I will make sure it's known. So motherfuckers better not even approach me with the bullshit. I don't care. I've seen other people who are considered influencers or whatever the fuck, got a blue check mark, and they get videos taken down and they get swayed to not talk about certain things. And I think it's fucked up. It's fucked up. How do we live in a place where we're supposed to have freedom of speech and we're supposed to be free to speak, but motherfuckers ain't speaking freely? So that matters to me. That matters. It's, yeah. I will not always be here, but this is my office. One of my places I like to create. My desk. You can't really see, but I have plants and lots of dope shit because I'm dope. But this is one of the places I like to create. This is one of the places I will record. But I would love to venture around my home We call it Elf Headquarters. We'll talk about that later. But I have a library and a dojo, and we have a studio that my lover has put together, and it's totally his space, but we will totally be out there sometimes. And what else? In the TV room, because that's also the reptile room, and so we'll have to hang out with them sometimes. On the go, outside, like anywhere. Elephant in the room can be anywhere, because excuse me. But elephant in the room can be anywhere at any time, because that's what it is. Free spirit, free being, raw, in the now, here, real as fuck, Lucy for real. That's what it is. New school, new way, no expectations, no fucking time frame. But you know what? I love that, and I'm going to keep it like that, because the more people I get to know and want to talk to and bring on the show, I will be able to be more flexible with them and the things that they're doing. And I can travel and go to them, and we can just set up shop wherever. Like, let's do this shit. All different kinds of crazy places. I hope I have some of the craziest places to be, We gonna do that. But I also like to play video games. I'm not great. I just enjoy it and enjoy trying, because it's nostalgic for me, and I feel like it helps me to release my brain. My brain is always going a million miles an hour, and I'm always thinking about 1,000 things at the same time, and it's tiring. So crafting and playing video games are the two things that really help me release my mind. I also love to drive cross country. I haven't done it in a while, but I intend to. I mean, it's been since last summer, so it's getting time to do it again. But I literally just can't fucking wait to explore more of the world, learn new things, meet new people, and share that with everybody. One of my projects that I am open to sharing with anybody interested is writing nobody's story, or sharing nobody's story. I haven't really solidified the name on that yet, but I love to write, and so there's some people around me who have really amazing stories, and I'd love to help them share their stories, or even just create something for their family. Like my neighbor, she's an elderly woman who super dope, and we have lots of similarities, which is so weird. We come from completely different generations, different places in the world, different types of families, different races, everything different, but we have so many similar situations we went through in life, and similar outlooks on life now. But anyways, she is somebody who I will be sharing her story. I'm going to help her type up a book that just kind of goes through some of the things in her life. I hope to do hers in the way of a tragicomic tragedy that's a comic, because why not laugh if we can? But also because we need to share the tragedies too, and we need to share the tears and the pain and the sorrow. We need to talk about it, and we need to have community and support for each other. And we can't do that if we're not talking about it, and if we're acting like everything's okay, and if we're allowing that creepy fucking uncle to be that creepy fucking uncle. Because I had one of those too. And we just can't. We can't act like this shit's okay and allow families and children to get shunned from their families because they are speaking out against it, against grandpa and uncle and brother and whoever the fuck for being weird and crossing boundaries. Nobody should be scared to talk about these things and actually feel safe. Nobody should be scared to want to feel safe. Like, I need a world where people can feel safe, and that is a fucking requirement. I need a world that respects fucking women and children first, and then fucking making money and doing the other shit later. And our elders, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my gods and goddesses. Our elders. Where is the love and support for our elders? That shit breaks my heart. It breaks my heart first and foremost because I was hurting when my great-grandmother got us out of foster care, and I treated her like shit. I treated her like shit. I was a little fucking asshole. I was hurting. None of it is okay, but I also recognize now how much I was hurting and how much I felt unseen and how much I was still going through shit. My grandma believed so deeply in God and Jesus Christ and the church. Meanwhile, I'm being sexually abused at the church. That is not a safe place for me. That is not my savior and safety and place of worship. That's a different kind of fucking worship that I will not participate in. That woman was amazing, and I was going through a lot, and I disrespected her. So when I lost her, when she passed from her physical body here on earth, that fucked me up. And it made me remember the love I have for my elders, and it renewed my respect and desire to want to be around them. And so all the places I worked, I always connected with people who were old enough to be my grandparents. And it wasn't a conscious thing at first, and later on I realized, oh, I see. One of those things. So it was pretty cool. It's because of my grandma that I have a sore heart for our elders. And I see what's happening, and they're under attack. And they're under attack intentionally because the internet has so much information. It's a vast amount of information, right? It's too much information. And that is intentional because it is hard to weed out what is right and what is wrong and what is real and what is fake when there's so much access to so much. But the one way to the true information and the way that true history was actually originally passed down, which was verbally from our elders. And so, knowing that, it just makes it all the more peculiar that dementia and Alzheimer's is this thing that just sprouted out of nowhere like 50 some years ago. And it's weird. It's super weird. I do think that it is intentional, and I think it is to aid in erasing our history and changing our mind about things that happened. If our elders are not here to tell us the story, and all we have is the internet that can be altered, and where the fuck are we getting our truth from? Well, then I say it's in our DNA, and it is, and we have to be able to access it. But when we're being poisoned in our air and in our water and in our food accessing our DNA becomes less and less likely. Everything I've talked about today are millions of topics on their own, and I want to dive into every single bit and piece of it all. I'm just in love with love and life itself. We have a beautiful home on this planet Earth with beautiful, different, distinct creatures that all have different parts to play in making this place work and making this place the beautiful place that it is. And I just love to explore it and get to know these different creatures. And everything I learn, I want to share. So I'll always be holding different live streams and real life in person classes and events. I have quite a few people who all have their own things that I will be partnering with to do different things and just offer life and opportunity to our people. I mean, I need to adjust a little bit. I'm just feeling like can only wear that hat for so long. I love it, but I'm just not used to having anything on my head. I'm not used to having makeup on my face, which I don't have makeup on my face, but I do have eyeliner on. My hair is not going to be straight for much longer. It's getting pretty frizzy. Gonna have to put it back curly. That feels nice, but whatever. I don't care. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter. But I do love this hat. And I almost lost it at the theater, but thank goodness somebody just saved it for me and we were able to get it back. I'm so happy. Excuse me. So my incense is almost out. I feel that means I need to bring this to a close. I don't know if I missed things that I wanted to share, because I really just wanted to go with the flow of what felt right and what came to mind, and just be here now with you all and share this moment, because this is a really big step for me to even do this. Those of you who know me know that, like, yeah, this is big. So I'm here. Any chance that I have to bring on actual professionals with credentials, I will. I do have some people who are close to me who are teachers, who are psychologists, psychiatrists. I know some gurus that are like super into personal training and fitness. I know some people who are very passionate about also bringing financial education to their families, and I intend to look for some other people who are political scientists, something like that, because I would like to learn more, but also learn from somebody who's able to break down certain things about the political world that people like in the hood would not understand. And so I want to be able to try to bring the right questions. So send me questions that any of you have that you want asked, topics that any of you are curious about. I want this to be a community for all of us, and I have the things that I'm passionate about and the things that I've experienced, like I shared a little bit with you today. And so I want to dig into all those things, of course, but I want to know what you want to know too. And I want to dig into those things, you know. Some other things that bother me are like all the empty fucking abandoned buildings and houses we have in this country. Why is anybody homeless or struggling to pay for bills? Like, just so many basic ass things that we should not be struggling with. And things that make sense in other countries that don't make sense here. Like, I found out that in other places you get a, what is it called? Like oh my gosh, I have to look this up now because I have to be specific about what it is. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But basically, if you need some mental space and you need a mental break from work, they have this, what the fuck do they call it? I literally just saw this video. More to prove. Here it is right here. Let's see if I can. Burnout. It's called a burnout leave.
With a lot of stress, you go to your doctors, tell them your symptoms, and they'll decide if you need to go on sick leave or not. How long
It's sick leave.
6 weeks fully paid, and then your insurance will take over a portion of it.
6 weeks fully paid, and then your insurance will take over a part of it.
Oftentimes, they'll send you to like a retreat so you can get healthy again.
Insurance will send you to a retreat so you can get mentally healthy again. Burn out sick leave. Paid time off work. Is some shit not adding up to y'all here? Or what? Because I'm not understanding why the fuck we getting worked like some motherfucking slaves here in this country. We are getting worked like slaves. Our food and our water and our air is being poisoned. Our children are basically being prepared for prison in the public school system. Our teachers are overworked and underpaid. Our teachers' aides and paras who work with our disabled children are being underpaid and overworked and undertrained. Our actual attention to our children is not even there. They're just put in front of screens, and teachers are doing bare minimum. And I don't blame them. You know, they're given very little tools, very little support, very little income, and still stressing the fuck out to live just like the rest of us. And there's just so many things that are just not right with the whole school system. We will get into that because new school is very dear to my heart, and that is going to be a whole new community of education in a way we learn, and the structure of learning, and the community of learning together and growing together. Yeah. So many things we will talk about here. And I'm excited to just share the minds and the beautiful connections I have with beautiful people. I'm just excited to share those things because, like, seriously, there has been so many amazing conversations I've had with just random people that I love. People that we just sit and talk. Sometimes we be smoking and sometimes we're not. It's just actual life flow. And life flows and does beautiful things, especially if you give it the space and opportunity to do that. And that's what I want here with Elephant in the Room, is the space and opportunity to grow and be heard. So what I have to offer is safe space for truth. That is my only expectation, and requirement if you want to join me. And like I said, if you don't like it, just keep it stepping. There's way too many podcasts, way too many people sharing their opinions for you to bring that negativity over here. Go leave that shit somewhere else, because we don't got time for it here. And yeah, peace, love, light, all that good stuff. Now, I feel like there's some more things, but the incense has went out and my thought flow has ended. I'm looking so forward to sharing this space with my many people in my tribe and people I don't even know yet. And look forward to hearing from all of you about things that you want to talk about and hear and questions you have. And let's grow together, y'all. And let's bust out these elephants, because there's so many juicy topics and we'll need tea or coffee. I love you all so much. Forever. Always. See you next time.